The character and story of Peter Pan have been on my mind a lot lately. I have been really resonating as being Peter Pan, him and herself, which I guess is appropriate because honestly, I feel like growing up in the boonies outside of Birmingham, Alabama, like in like the little secluded arid nature that we were in with my dad and my family, in fact, was very Neverland like, in like a strange real world way. And my dad reminds me of Peter Pan too. I don't feel like he fully grew up, at least not for a long time. And when he did finally grow up, I think that's when I kind of lost him. Because he was fun and he was playful um, when I was a kid, even if even if he terrorized me a little bit, you know. But it didn't matter. There were a few things that he did that definitely had a lasting impact on me emotionally and stuff. But you know, we greeted each other by putting our fist up and, you know, fighting. He was, you know, pranking me or this or that. Everything was an adventure. Um, you know, we'd be riding down the road in the car and he would hum this particular tune. And I would try to scoot as far away from him as possible towards the door so he couldn't reach me because I always knew that during certain parts of this tune, he's going to reach over and smack my leg. It's like a game. I try and get as far away as possible. I couldn't get far enough away though. But I uh, I feel very blessed that I got to have the childhood that I did, even with all the craziness that was in it, because I got to grow up in a magical place, surrounded by magic, where everything felt like play, even if it wasn't. And like I named every rock. I named every area. You know, there was Mermaid Island, there were the Rock Islands, there was the Rainbow Tree. You know, there was this one rock that to me was like the you know, the bed for Sleeping Beauty or Snow White. One year my dad got me a rock for my birthday. Funny story. I tried to go down there and get it a year or so ago after I got mad at him. I was like, I'm getting my rock. It was given to me for my birthday. That figure's way too big for me to get. Without a lot of help. Without a lot of help. I had some help. Yeah, it's a lot bigger than I remembered. But I thought it was cool because it looked like a small mountain, man. It's awesome. I had 5 million clubhouses. I would rappel down the side of a 2-story shed with an old car chain that I found that was not safe. There was a hook on the bottom of it, and I did fall once, and man, it could have got me. It could have got me. It didn't, but it could have. And I remember behind the shed, which there were like pine trees all around it, so there's always like a bed of pine needles there. Behind this shed, we built a teepee out of car tires. Me and my brother did, and then it collapsed on us, but it was fun while it lasted. But for some reason, my dad had a giant black witch's cauldron. So me and my friends, when I was in elementary school, we'd like make little fires back there and stuff. Recently, I heard someone talking about um, garages and things like that. And one of the fun things that we would do is there was like 5 million old cars in my dad's backyard, or not 5 million, but there was always at least 4 to 7 or something, and they were usually parked near the sheds. And so the one that was near the garage light building was behind it. We would go and we would climb up it. And then we found this metal railing thing that probably was part of like a fence or a staircase at one point. And we put it on the roof of the car. Thank God it was an old car, so it didn't matter. I don't know if my dad actually knew we were doing this or not. To make a bridge to get to the roof of the garage. So that first we could go climb up because our garage was shared with the neighbor. The neighbor had like a 2-story like barn, you know, like farmer's barn type deal, and ours was like the 1-story side. And if we went and we climbed onto our garage roof, we could climb up theirs. And when we climbed up theirs, we had a perfect view of the road coming towards our area, and we could watch for our dad or other people to see when they were coming. And then the other fun thing that we did that I'm just over here like, it just sounds absolutely crazy to me right now, is we like to run laps and jump off of the garage roof. Like we'd go climb up the thing and then we'd run and we'd jump. We'd just jump off of this one story thing. You know, my 41-year-old knees right now are feeling a lot of fear thinking about that. But, you know, it was nice. And I was really frustrated growing up because I never got to go to anyone else's home. I never got to go to my friend's house. I think for a short period of time when I lived with my mom after they got divorced, she let me go have a sleepover with one of my friends one night when I was in the 3rd grade. And that was really nice. But our friends always had to come to our house, and not just my dad, my mom too, when they were together and not together. One of the things that my family has always done that I have always appreciated is that they adopt our friends. You know, and now that I'm thinking about it, it's like kind of like, you know, Peter Pan collecting lost children. A lot of my friends, especially in elementary school, they didn't have great home lives, and they liked coming and hanging out with me and my family at ours and feeling welcome. I had several friends that basically, I mean, like they became members of the family. I had one friend. I would go to visit my mom, and he would already be there. He's already there. He'd just show up at dinner time at her house and start eating and stuff. And I'm just over here like, I love that. I miss that friend. He passed away quite a while ago, but I miss the days when people would just show up and visit. And you know, I mean, it almost seems presumptuous to just, you know, be like, all right, I'm stealing your parents. You know, they're mine now too. Like, you got to share them or something. But I'm thankful that my friends felt that way, and that I have so many friends that are more like family now because of things like that. And I try, and Carl, I think too, we try to be like that with our friends. And you know, people kind of come and go as they need us. Lately, I've been thinking a lot about my gaming community that I miss a lot. I started running a gaming community online in 2006, and before that, I was running other types of communities. I started off running Sailor Moon fan forums and stuff, and I always had some sort of community that I was putting together, you know, online and some offline, but the ones online were probably closest to my heart, especially my gaming community at this point, because its home is on Discord, and I realized several years ago that I was Peter Pan and I was collecting lost children, mostly lost boys. So, um, but creating a home and a space for people to feel comfortable and to make friends, a place that they can call home, or at least add to their list of homes, has always meant so much to me. And you know, whether they realize it or not, they become like family to me. You know, even the ones that are around for just a short period of time, and they probably don't realize it or not. I make notes about all of them so I can remember which one's which, since my memory's such crap. I totally have a Google Doc online where I have their names and a few things about them, you know, like some salesperson would when they're creating their little thing, to help you remember some relevant points. And I have to, because they might have one name in Discord and another name in the game program, and then of course sometimes they share their real name. I'm like, there's no way I can keep up with all these names, not with the kind of interaction we're having. But I've also been thinking a lot about Peter Pan lately, just because, you know, while I do finally feel like an adult, I always wondered when I would feel like an adult. It happened at 40. I I feel like an adult that like never grew up. Um, Out of pure defiance. I remember being told when I was a kid that I wouldn't be able to do certain things when I got older. That I wouldn't be able to watch cartoons. I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do that. And I remember. I mean, and I verbalized this. I was like, you know, I don't think I said "f you" at the time, but basically I was saying that. I was saying that with my heart and my mind. Like, F that, man. I'm gonna watch cartoons forever. I'm gonna play games forever. I'm gonna have fun. And you know, what's the point? What's the point in living if you're not having fun and experiencing joy? There's so much crap in the world. After I went through a lot of really hard stuff, I remember making myself a promise. And one of my favorite things to do is to approach everything like it's a game of some sort, even a very serious game. And games have win conditions, and sometimes they have rules and a framework for playing, but they have a win condition. And so one of my favorite things to do is I just determine my own win condition. My win condition might not be the same as everybody else's. In fact, usually it's not. So my win condition as, well, an adult, but as a person, and my win condition in relation to all of the trauma I went through was I won't let them steal my joy. I won't let them steal my joy. There may be times that I get beat down. There may be times that, a lot of times that I get beat down and periods of depression and all that kind of stuff. But I will always find my joy and hold on to it and chase it and treasure it. And I just really feel like that is such an important thing to hold on to in life. And that if someone is feeling lost, they need to try and find their joy, whatever it might be. And if you don't know what it is, just go out and try a whole bunch of different things. Because if you can at least narrow the field by figuring out what it's not. When you find it, you'll know what it is. And it can change over time. It can change over time. But that, I think, is a big part of what has helped me uh, not only survive all the things that I've survived, but thrive in different ways too. Anyways, I love being Peter Pan, but I'm a little sad right now because I've been away from my lost boys for a long time. And I don't really, and most of them, while I was away, they went off and grew up. One got married recently. Another one started his own business. Actually, two of them started their own businesses. Well, one expanded their own business. And they're all ages. They're all ages. Some are almost as old as me. It doesn't matter. That's the wonderful thing about the internet and gaming and stuff. Removes so many barriers. One day, I will return to Neverland. And I know that there are always more lost children in need of a home. But for right now, I'm just going to feel a little sad and in my feels because all of my kids have grown up and moved away. And I miss them very much.